Hi guys, welcome back again to the vlog. So I am here again because I feel like marami pa rin ang nalilito at maraming katanungan based doon sa unang vlog na nilabas namin. So I'm making this second video para matulungan kayong mas ma-visualize kung paano talaga siya ginagawa, paano kinecreate yung mga accounts, ganyan. So that is the goal of this second vlog. So yung setup natin ngayon is a little bit different. Dito sa left side ko, makikita nyo maraming links ako nilagay dyan. And then our timeline para ma-visualize nyo talaga kung ano yung nangyari sa aming application from the beginning until the end. Then dito sa right side naman, mag-open tayo ng mga links, mga websites para makita nyo how to navigate in those pages. Okay? So, just a recap lang, ang pathway namin para makarating dito sa Canada ay express entry via provincial nomination program. So, kung hindi mo napapanood yung first vlog, please go there para magkaroon ka ng high-level understanding kung ano ba itong mga pinagsasabi ko. No? So, number one is, what is express entry? So, ito yung program ng Canada para makapagdala ng mga immigrants dito sa Canada as permanent residents na agad. So, showing you right here yung website ng Canada. So, maraming ways para makarating dito. Yeah, so, syempre, ang gusto natin yung immigration and citizenship. So, dito, marami pang programs kayong makikita. Work, study, but of course, syempre, ang gusto natin mag-migrate. So, immigrate, just choose that. And then, under the immigration programs, marami pang mga pathways available. So, I highly suggest na i-check nyo to kasi baka may ibang pathway din na applicable for you. But, since this video, I will just talk about kung ano yung naging experience namin and mga ginawa namin. Ito lang yung ipapakita ko sa inyo. No? So, click nyo lang yung express entry and then maraming useful na links dito. I suggest na talagang basahin nyo sila isa-isa kasi like for us, hindi naman kami kumuha ng consultant. Very important na alam nyo kung ano yung rules nung game na lalaroin nyo. Di ba? Para manalo kayo. Ganyan siya. So, yan. Check natin yung how express entry works. Yan. So, actually, meron kasing tatlong immigration programs under express entry. So we have the Canadian Experience class, but for this one kasi kailangan mo ng Canadian work experience. Federal Skilled Worker Program, ito yung pathway namin na kinuha. Because these are for mga professionals na nasa tier 0 to 3 na NOC. So later I will try to let you know kung ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng NOC. Yan. And then yung pangatlo is yung Federal Skilled Trades Program. Ito naman is for mga jobs na nasa trades, yung mga carpenters, mga plumbers, mga mechanic, ganyan. I'm not sure about the mechanic. Basta yung nasa trade. No? But then, dito kami nag-fall under sa Federal Skilled Worker Program. So, if you click on that, on this page, makikita nyo na lahat ng information na kailangan ninyo. Ayan. So, just make sure na meron kayo nitong mga requirements na to, na meron kayong skilled work experience, meron kayong language eligibility, and then you have your education. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na yung work experience ay dapat nasa tier 0, 1, 2, or 3. So, later, check natin yung NOC link na to. So, yun, basahin nyo lang to kasi may minimum required number of years and hours para maging eligible. Then yun nga, para maging eligible, kailangan din may language ability. So, dito nyo kakailanganin yung language test nyo. Then yung education, ito yung education credential assessment. Then, ayun, meron pang mga ibang factors, no? Which is yung age, kung meron kayong valid job offer, but in our case, wala. And then adaptability. So, meron kasi din points if meron kayong relatives dito or hindi. So, I highly suggest na i-check nyo itong page na ito to know if you are eligible. So, yung current pass mark daw is 67 points. So, if nag-score kayo above that, pwede na kayong gumawa ng express entry profile ninyo. Alright, mamaya na rin tong proof of funds, no? So, check muna natin yung, so nadaanan na natin how express entry works, how to be eligible to FSW, calculate niyo yung scores nyo. I think meron dito calculator. Yeah, so guys, this is the way para ma-check nyo if maging eligible kayo dito. But of course, yan, hindi ko na siya gagawin kasi medyo mahaba siya. So, sagutan niyo lang 'tong mga questions na 'to for you to know if magiging eligible kayo. So, ganun lang siya. So, pagdating naman dito sa NOC, nabanggit ko na din 'to sa previous vlog. Ito yung inyong National Occupation Classification. So guys, this is your way to identify kung ano ba talaga yung job na meron kayong experience, no? And then, dito sa baba, meron ditong search bar. Dito nyo makikita kung ano yung NOC code nyo. Kasi guys, this is very important. This could be your make or break. Kasi yung mga draws na ginagawa ng government ng Canada, minsan nakabase siya sa NOC or sa industry. Diba? So, for example, ang sa husband ko na NOC is, or like ang role niya is construction manager. So, dito lalabas yung NOC code nyo, which is yung sa husband ko nga is 70010. So, kung ako, isahanapin ko yung sa akin dahil ako ay marketing professional, mine is 11202. So, ganun siya guys, no? So, another important thing to check is kung yun bang NOC na kine-claim nyo is yun talaga yung ginagawa nyo sa work nyo. Kasi like for example, sa husband ko, he is a civil engineer talaga, but yung kanyang job description is closer sa construction manager. So if i-check natin dito, so sinearch ko lang siya dito sa search bar, then click nyo lang yung title. Then lalabas na dito yung job description, kung ano yung mga example titles, yung mga duties, then yan, mga employment requirements. So, na-mention ko that this could be your make or break kasi guys, nag-check talaga yung IRCC with the companies na pinagtrabahuhan nyo kung may question sila. Kasi dun sa mga requirements, kailangan yung magbigay ng ways paano nila makakontakt yung mga previous employers nyo just to verify. That could be the case. Pwedeng mag-verify, pwede rin hindi. But in our experience, nag-check yung immigration officer dun sa supervisor ng husband ko kung ano ba talaga yung ginagawa ng husband ko sa work. Kung is it more of construction manager or is it more like civil engineer? So this one is very important, no? So dahil nag-match naman yung job description and na-verify nung previous employer ni husband na yes, he was doing construction manager work. So naging okay siya. But be very careful about this, no? So ayun. Then na-mention ko nga, itong list na to is very mas simple siya kaysa dun sa text heavy na nandito. So mag-base na lang tayo dito, no? So just to simplify, there are 3 talaga na prerequisites para ka maka-create ng isang express entry profile. So number 1 is kailangan mo ng educational assessment. This is the way for the immigration officer to gauge kung ano ba yung level ng education mo compared dito sa Canada. O ano ba yung equivalent niya dito sa Canada. No? So, to get that, for us, ang pinili namin is yung WES. So, hindi na ako mag-create ng account. No? But this is what the website looks like. So, kailangan yung mag-create ng account dito. And then, what will happen is you'll just have to pay for the fee. And then, bibigyan na kayo ng instruction ng WES what you are going to do next. If kailangan nyo pumunta sa university or kung ano man. No? So, bibigyan naman nila kayo ng instruction. Next is yung ginawa naming language test, which is IELTS yung pinili namin. And sa British Council, yan. So, just the same things. You just have to sign up and create your account and then have to pay for it and then book your exam. No? So, I think for us, minimum score na required noon at that time is 6.5. So, i-check nyo na lang din kung ganun pa rin. No? So, with regards naman sa proof of funds, ito din yung maraming nagtanong kung magkano daw yung show money. So, the answer to that is, depende po kung ilan kayong family member. So, for us, dahil dalawa kami, this is our needed fund. So, just tip lang din na yung, ito kasi is nakabase siya, of course, sa exchange rate. So, minsan 40, minsan 41 sa peso. So, ang tip namin dito is lagyan nyo ng enough buffer. So, sabi nila as of this time, 45 daw yung safest. So, if you want, yun na lang din yung sundin nyo. And then, nakalagay din naman dito kung ano yung mga ina-accept nila as proof. So, you have here Ito, of course, yung cash, pwede ring stock bonds, and the others here. So, the question is, kailangan ba ibigay ko na siya? 'Pag nagawa ba ako ng express entry profile, i-upload ko na ba agad yung bank certificate? So, the answer to that is no, hindi pa kailangan. But the thing is, kapag binigyan na kayo ng invitation to apply, 'pag sinabi na ng IRCC na, "Okay, submit mo na yung requirements mo." So, if wala ka nito, parang sayang kasi you lose your chance, 'di ba? So, dapat prepared talaga yung proof of funds mo at the time of your application, kasi sayang. So, gano'n siya. So, nung nagawa na namin yung dalawang prerequisites, may WES na kami, may IELTS kami, and nakapag-secure na kami ng proof of funds namin na tama dito sa required, no? Nag-create na agad kami ng express entry profile. So, kasi guys, yun yung unang-una talagang kailangan, express entry profile. So, you can create it, again, balik tayo dun sa website. So, dito lang siya, sign in or create your IRCC secure account. So, yan. Eto, dito tayo sa register for an account. But of course, hindi na ako gagawa kasi hindi ko na siya kailangan, no? Kapag nakapag-create kayo ng account, automatically magka-calculate yun ng points in the end and malalaman nyo kung ilan talaga siya. But in our case, since ang naging score ng asawa ko is 428, hindi siya enough doon sa required na mga draws at that time. Basta ganun siya. After you mag-create ng express entry profile, may score yun. Kaya lang, yung mga draws, meron siyang cut-off score. So for example, usually nasa 500 and above ngayon. Kung halimbawa, yung asawa ko, 428 lang yung naging score niya, hindi siya aabot doon sa minimum cut-off score. So ang goal is, kailangan it's either bumaba yung minimum cut-off score, to, for example, 400, then mabibigyan na kami ng invitation to apply. Or, gumawa kami ng paraan para madagdagan yung 428 na points niya. Which is, ang paraan niya para madagdagan is yung provincial nomination program na kung saan kami nakapasok is for the province of Saskatchewan. So, ang goal naman ng program na yon is mag-vouch for someone na, hey, ikaw, civil engineer ka, like for example, we need you in our province kasi marami kaming i-build na, for example, houses. So, we need you. So, ganun siya. Sasabihin ng province na we need this person dito sa province na to, kaya bibigyan namin siya ng additional points. No. In essence, ganun yung concept niya. But the thing is, the catch is, dun ka lang sa province na yun kailangan mag-land. So, I think for 2 to 3 years, kailangan namin magstay dito. But after that, you can choose to live na sa ibang province. But for us, we don't really like plan on moving anymore kasi parang okay naman kami dito. And sabi nila na makaka-affect daw if ever mag-apply kami ng citizenship kung aalis kami sa province na nag-nominate sa akin. So, but then again, wala naman kaming plans on moving to another province. So, nabanggit ko lang na ganun yung catch niya kasi dito kayo nabigyan ng nomination eh. So, we are expecting you to live here. So, parang ganun siya. So, ayan. After nyo makakreate ng express entry profile, assuming na kulang yung points ninyo and kailangan yung mag-add ng more points. So, kapag kasi nabigyan kayo ng provincial nomination, may additional 600 points siya sa CRS score ninyo. So, for example, yung sa husband ko, 428 lang siya. When we got the provincial nomination, naging 1,028 yung kanyang score. So, what we had to do back then was to wait na lang for the next draw para mabigyan na kami ng invitation to apply. So, but before that, balik muna ako dun sa pinakang ginawa namin na process. So, yun, after namin mag-create ng express entry profile, pumunta naman kami dito sa Government of Saskatchewan para sa aming expression of interest. So, dito kasi para, kumbaga, kailangan mong gumawa ng expression of interest sa province para malaman nila na this person wants to go here sa Saskatchewan. So, nandun ka sa, kumbaga, nasa pool ka. Diba? So, parang ini-screen nila kung sino yung mga kailangan nila for a certain time. So, ganun yung nangyari sa amin. And for this one, ang napasukan namin na program is yung International Skilled Worker. And then again, guys, may mga description to dito kung eligible kayo. So, what you can do is just literally basahin nyo lang to kasi very detailed naman yung description dito, yung guide, everything that you need is here. Lahat ng pwede nyong itanong lahat ng possible na katanungan nyo is nandito talaga, I promise. So, dito sa how to apply, marami kasing nagtatanong sa amin sa comments na pahingi naman daw ng format ng letter for the EOI. But the thing is, hindi po siya letter. Ganun kasi yata before. Mag-email kayo sa mga provinces na gusto nyong puntahan. Mag-email kayo ng EOI letter nyo. But now po, hindi na ganun. Yung EOI is literally gagawa ka ng profile sa province, sa website ng province. So for Saskatchewan, so pakita ko lang sa inyo, this is the page kung saan kayo makakagawa ng profile. So all you have to do is create your Oasis account. But the thing is, if international skilled worker program yung inyong papasukan and express entry siya, kailangan nyo munang gumawa nung express entry profile. So kaya 'di ba dito sa timeline namin, inuna namin siyang gawin. Kasi dito sa Oasis, tatanungin niya kayo kung ano yung profile number mo. So ganun po siya. So di kailangan meron ka munang profile, profile 'di ba? Para makagawa ka na ng Oasis. So sa mga nagtatanong kung ano yung mauuna talagang gawin, so the answer is profile muna yung gagawin nyo. Then yung sa Oasis sa SINP. So ganun po siya. So going back sa timeline namin, nag-create kami ng SINT profile ng September 2023. Then, nabanggit nga namin in our previous vlogs na kami ay product ng recruitment mission. So, naka-receive kami ng email invitation ng November 21. So, hindi kami sure but we just think na ang naging basis nito is yung lahat ng mga nagpasa ng EOI at that time, in-invite nila for an interview just to check if yung intentions ba nila in going to Canada is to really stay sa Saskatchewan. Totoo ba yung mga dineclare nila dito sa EOI profile nila? So, ganun lang siya. And then, umaten na yung husband ko nga ng interview nung December 12. Nabigyan kami ng invitation to apply by December 28. So, ang ibig sabihin lang ng invitation to apply is sinasabi lang ng immigration na, yes, we need you here and pinipili ka na namin to be here, ganon. So, isubmit mo na yung mga requirements mo for us to like formalize it. But, of course, if meron silang makita na kulang sa requirements mo or nag-misrepresent ka, if sinabi mo na, for example, 35 years old ka, but in your birth certificate, you're just 30 or mas matanda ka pa pala. So, mga ganon. So, parang at this point, i-cross-check na nila kung yung mga dineclare mo ba is tama. So, ganun siya. So, at that point, December 28, nag-start na kami mag-gather ng mga requirements. So, yung mga usual requirements lang naman, yung sa WES and yung sa IELTS, kailangan nyo yan lang i-upload yung inyong results ng mga assessments nyo, then yung proof of funds, you just have to, may listahan naman yun na ibibigay sa inyo kung ano yung mga kailangan yung i-upload, no? And it's just purely online. So, sa proof of funds, kailangan lang yung bank certificate, bank statement, ganyan. And then, ang mahirap lang naman dito at this point was the certificate of employment kasi merong format na kailangang sundin and kailangan nyo siyang ipasign sa inyong mga previous employers. Then, yun, nakapag-submit na kami ng Feb 6. Lahat ng requirements namin. And then, by February 15, naka-receive kami ng ADR. So, this means additional document requested. So, ang ibig sabihin lang nito is, meron silang finlag na kulang or mali doon sa aming pinasa ng mga requirements and we have the chance to like provide it. So, at this point kasi, ang kinulang yata sa amin was kailangan kasi for every employment na dineclare mo, merong magsusupport na government-issued na proof na yes, nagtrabaho ka sa company na to for this certain number of years. So to prove that, ang example nun is yung BIR 2316 kasi diba yung filing ng tax nakalagay dun yung name ng employer, name mo, tsaka yung year. Or another way is yung SSS employment history kasi nakalagay dun lahat ng mga naging employers mo ever since nag-start ka mag-work. So, yun lang yung pinrovide namin at this point. Nabigay namin siya by Feb 22 and na-receive na agad namin yung nomination ng February 28. So, nung na-receive namin yung nomination by February 28, ang mangyayari dyan is, kailangan babalik ka na ulit sa federal stage. Kasi okay na, nabigyan ka na ng nomination, babalik ka dun sa ginawa mong profile dito sa Express Entry, and ang mangyayari doon is kailangan i-accept mo yung nomination from the Saskatchewan government. So, kailangan mo lang i-click ng yes or confirm yata, something like that, para mag-reflect na yung 600 points na binigay sa'yo because of the nomination. So, kapag nag-reflect na yon, kunyari 1,024 na yung score mo, mag-iintay ka na ngayon ng next draw para mapasama ka na. Para mabigyan ka na ulit ng panibagong invitation to apply, but this time sa federal stage na, kasi IRCC talaga yung magpa-process nung visa. So that's the end goal. Medyo tumagal ka lang kasi kinailangan mong dumaan sa provincial nomination program. So just the same things, may ITA. So for us, February 29 siya dumating. Then nakapag-submit kasi kami agad ng March 13, so in just 2 weeks, submit namin agad kasi same things lang naman yung requirements. Dito sa SINP, ang dinagdag lang was the NBI clearance and passport photo yata, something like that. So, then yun, since purely online lang naman yung communication, may mga emails lang na darating, and kapag nag-create kayo ng express entry, meron doon tracker na makikita nyo kung nasaan na kayo sa application nyo or kung ano na yung hinihingi sa inyo at a certain time. So, yun. Nirequest na kami for medical and biometrics. Nag-medical exam na rin kami ng April 16. And then, enrollment, same day ng biometrics. Nag-medical pass ako ng April 19. However, unfortunately for us, na subject for sputum yung husband ko kasi may nakitang spot sa kanyang lungs. And as per the policies of IRCC, even if walang makita sa sputum, kahit mag-negative yung applicant, kailangan after 3 months, magpa-x-ray ulit yung applicant. So, ang goal kasi is yung nakitang spot, dapat hindi siya lumaki, hindi rin siya lumiit. So, kailangan identical yung first x-ray sa second x-ray. So, ganun siya. So, we had to wait 3 months para ulitin siya. Then, since identical naman yung naging x-ray ng husband ko and negative naman siya sa sputum, na medical complete na kami by July 18 and July 22. So, as you can see here, only in a matter of days nangyari lahat, no? So, mabilis talaga yung naging progress. So, yan nga guys. July 22, naka-receive na kami ng passport request, hinihingi na ng IRCC yung aming passport for visa stamping, and then nagkaroon na ng final decision by July 19. Then, na-receive na namin yung visa namin by August 1 na meron na siyang visa stamp. So, ayun. I know that this is still very high level pa rin, but I hope na kahit papano mas nagkaroon kayo ng mas malawak na understanding kung ano ba talaga yung express entry via provincial nomination of program. So if meron pa kayong mga additional questions or nalilito pa rin, feel free to put your questions in the comments and we will try to, as always, answer them. And you can even message us. Kung alam naman namin yung sagot, walang problema, we will reply to you. And as long as makakatulong kami and alam namin yung sagot, we will reply. So, I think we are ending this vlog now. Sana may natutunan kayo and keep posted sa mga susunod naming vlogs. Yung plan namin is yung next episodes is about yung pagland naman namin dito sa Canada. So, thank you guys for watching and see you next time.